Hello, I want to talk to you about contingent staffing or recruitment, and I want to show you two things. The first thing is, how do you actually build a bank or an internal talent pool? Now, when you do use our system, we give you the tools to actually put a widget or a link on your website, or when you advertise for jobs, all those applicants or future candidates are then pulled into the system and then added to this employees tab. Or alternatively, when you add somebody manually, you have the option to categorize this person. Now, when you add somebody, employees are your normal employees, but contractors are people who will work as contingent staff. Candidates and applicants are just two different statuses within the whole perm or full-time recruitment. Freelancers are freelancers. You should probably know what a freelancer is. So we're just going to focus on contractors for now. It's just important that when you do add a contractor, to make sure that you have a category or in your organization, you have an internal bank already set up, and you should match this contractor with an occupation grade specialty. Pretty straightforward, but something that we could discuss at a later point. The other thing I wanted to show you is how do you actually add jobs. So if you don't use the rostering system of ProduQtive, you can still use jobs as a freestanding unit. So I'll just show you how it works. So by adding a job either from your home page or on the left menu, you define where this requirement is from, the placement type. Is it contingent? Is it full-time? Is it part-time? So let's assume it's contingent. Now, will this position take a defined shift pattern, or is it a standing working week, like Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, or is it different shift times or shift patterns? And would you want one person to be considered for the entire role? So what often happens when you create multi-shifts is you'll have potentially 50 shifts, and then you would consider one person to do maybe 3 of them, another 10, another 15 shifts. Or if you have Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 for 6 weeks, you want one person to do that. You can select an active roster if this contingent requirement needs to be pushed into a roster, but if you don't use the rostering system, this won't appear. And then you can build your own reasons why you're looking for this person or this job. You can add a job title. So let's say, for the instance, junior doctor. Occupation, doctor. Now you can select multiple grades here, and the only reason why we said we allow you to do this is that it will always go by rank. So if you are looking for an ST4 but you will accept an ST3, it will always try and fill using an ST4 unless it has exhausted all options, and then it will go to an ST3. So general medicine as a specialty. Now if you want to add a job description text, or you can attach a job description document, you can do that there. Head count or number of positions, if I need 1 or 10 or 1,000 people, I could put it there. For this instance, I will put day shifts from the 9th of June. Now I can repeat this day shift for every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday until let's say the end of July. Now if I want to add another position, I can click on add role, which means that I can add new shifts for a different job title, different occupation grade specialty, or if I want to just add shifts for the same matching criteria, I can continue to do this. I'll just add shifts. you'll see I can just say, okay, I want to do a few early shifts from, so 5 till 2, same pattern, add shifts. Now, every time I add the shifts, you'll see at the bottom of the grid, it kind of builds this this grid pattern for every shift. Now, if there are certain days you want to change the start time and end time or increase the balance, you could do that. Alternatively, if you're happy, you can approve and publish. Now, some organizations require an approval process. Now, that's set up at the time when you go, we take on the system, you define your requisition to approval process, who needs to do what, but just for the sake of this demonstration, you could just approve and publish. Now, once I do this, the next step will be to start filling shifts. Now, like with the roster view or the roster process, the individuals on the left hand side are bank workers or contractors that matches this criteria. They're all doctors, ST3 in general medicine. I haven't checked their availability yet, but once we've selected them, we selected the vacant shifts, we've checked availability, we'll have a good indication of who we can consider for what shifts. Now, if you do book somebody based on the rate card, you'll see that there are £46 an hour and £49 an hour for core pay and unsocial pay. Commission, because there's a bank, there's no commission. We total all the WTR and national insurance to give you a gross VAT and total cost for that shift. And then also, depending on what sector you are in, if you have NHSI cap rates, it will be displayed whether you are over or under the cap rate. So there's quite a lot of information, but the process is pretty straightforward. Select the person, select the shifts, and then fill if you're a bank worker. Alternatively, if you need if you need managers to view a candidate, you could just submit the applicant. Okay. Before I forget, last point is, if you do feel that you're unable to fill shifts using your own internal bank, you can outsource this to your supply chain. However, this you do need to set this up properly with all your agencies, get them involved, get all the rate cards imported, provide some training so they know what to do. But in terms of their look and feel, exactly the same. They know what's happening. They know what they need to do in order to submit candidates. Okay, if you have any questions, do get in touch.